Mrs. Kraus. You can call me Mrs. K. Today we're going to learn how to draw a 15th century compass rose. I'm going to draw a half circle and stop at both points and then flip it around to complete the entire circle. This is a 360-degree circle. What we're going to do next is we're going to make points on the circle to show our compass points, and we're going to have 16 of these. So to figure this out, we take 360 degrees, divide by 16, and we get 22.5. So for the total, we factor in 22.5 for our first mark. Well, actually we mark it at 0 and 180 degrees and 90 degrees. That makes it a lot easier. And then we add 22.5 to 22.5, we get 45. And then 67.50, 90 degrees, 112.50, 135, 157.50, and 180. And then we flip over our protractor and do the same thing on the other side. So we are going to use a ruler next to make our lines, and we start with our cardinal points, which are north, south, east, and west. We mark north and south first, point to point, and east and west, point to point. And I just go ahead and label them. That way I don't forget where they are. And then we're going to mark our ordinal points, and these are northwest, southwest, southeast, and northeast. So we just go ahead, and those are the ones in the middle. The dots in the middle are the ones that you're going to be marking. Okay, so I'm going to mark northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. And then the final points we're going to draw lines through are the subordinate points, which are north, northeast, north, northwest, south, southeast, and south, southwest. So I'm going to mark those. Okay, so here's the trick to doing this. What you're going to use is your protractor, and you're going to line up your cardinal points first. So north and south, you're going to line those up. And then taking your finger at north, you're going to move the bottom part of the protractor to the left to one point to the left. And then right at that point, you're going to connect the dots. Then meet back up at north-south line, and then keep your finger at the top. You'll go one over to the right. You'll be doing that for every single section. Now I flip over my circle and do the other side. So south to north, I keep my finger at the south and move it over one. And then same thing, move this over and connect the 2 points. See how you're starting to get the triangle points, and then there's a line in the middle of each. My completed points should have a line in the middle. These aren't completed, so we're going to have to keep going. Okay, I am looking at my circle, and it looks to me like I have got all of my points connected, because I can check each one of them and they each have a line in the middle. If they don't, then you need to make sure and connect up. So let's say this one didn't have a line in the middle, you would just go to that line and finish it. So next what we're going to do is create a circle in the middle, and since I don't have a compass tool, I'm using a handy little base of a cup instead. If you do have a compass, you can make your circle with your compass. And then you just trace around and make your circle. Don't worry if it's not perfect. What you do next is you take your Sharpie and you fill everything in. This whole middle section will be filled in, starting with this circle, and then the rest of it. You are not going to fill in the left side of your triangle. I'm just going to show you real quickly. You're only going to show this part shaded in with Sharpie. And the reason for that is that you want it to look like the shade on a sundial. So each one of these triangles is going to have the right hand side shaded in and the left hand side left alone. So you're going to trace everything though that's in pencil, and when you get finished I will show you what to do next. Okay, so the only thing I have to do now is to create my fleur-de-lis design, and fleur-de-lis basically means flower in French. And then also we have a cross symbol to put in this section because the cross was to represent the direction of the Savior, which was supposed to be in Jerusalem. So I'm going to start with my fleur-de-lis, and I'm making an egg shape that goes all the way down to the base, and it's going to cover up the end, but that's okay. That symbol represents north. And then you're going to make a little saucer shape right towards the base, and then on either side of that you're going to make two little half moon shapes, and then from the top we're going to make a little curly Q design. And don't worry if it's not perfect. Try to bring it in there. It's supposed to connect up. It almost looks like a volcano. And then it's also going to connect up. So you're going to have a U shape here and a U shape here that are both going to have end bases to them. And then you're going to make another U shape and another U shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4 U shapes. And you're just going to fill that whole thing in with Sharpie. Okay, I filled in everything. I changed this a little bit to add a little bit more detail here. And then this didn't turn out perfectly, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the whole point of this activity, is learning how to do it correctly. I put my signature on the bottom. All I need to do is mount it to black paper, and that is how you draw a 15th century compass rose.